Hey, friends. So you've got to love live television or live simulcast. I am Moses T. Alexander Green, and I am the playwright behind Pooled, a gospel musical drama. You hear my voice is a little deeper tonight. That is the blessing of pollen. But tonight we're here to introduce you to two characters. One has been with me from the beginning of the workshop for the show. And then a second is brand new to the cast. And so I want to start by going down memory lane. Celeste Hennett plays Grandma Doll. And again, some of these persons are based on either relatives in my life or people that were in my hometown community on Long Island. So I'd like to welcome to Behind the Scenes Pool 2022, Celeste Hennett. Hey, Celeste, come on in.
Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Moses, how are you?
I am doing splendid. You saw what happened, right? Literally, I'm sitting here talking and there's no one there.
I did.
So this is what I'm interested in from you. You have been with me. I was looking at old pictures today.
Mm-hmm.
Producer, bring up one of those old photos. Just one of those old photos.
Wow.
Do
Yeah,
you remember that moment?
I absolutely remember that moment.
And so
Yeah.
that is a moment from, thank you. That's a moment from our Readers Theater portion all the way back in October of 2016. So 6 years ago.
Mm.
And so and that was just a reading in front of a standing room only crowd at VAE Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about your journey with the show, just you as Celeste, then we'll get to your character, what comes to mind?
The main thing that comes to mind for me is, and man, that picture sure took it back. What comes to mind for me is the fact that the script itself, you can't really call it a script because the script is real life. The words just jump off the page and they just become uh let me see if I can put it into the words. In other words, every single person in the cast who touches that script either identifies with or has experienced something that is going on. So it's the script for me.
And you've seen that, like literally in our newest iteration, I only have Carolyn, our music director who's been with me. I have you. I have Lynette Barber. So of everyone that was there in the very beginning, um, you get a chance to see. And I love that Lynette said last rehearsal when people were talking about this is my life and I'm seeing parts of myself in these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Lynette got a chance to tell them, listen, that happened to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it like for you to do this play with more new people than people with whom you had worked?
Because again, the script itself is
Okay.
the life of this production. So it doesn't matter who holds that script in their hands, as long as they are reading those words, because the words come to life. They literally come to life. So I can't really tell a difference. Yes, there are new faces,
New faces.
but those words that are coming out are still those words, and each person is bringing those words to life. So I remember the old cast or the original cast. I won't
The
say old,
original
the
cast.
original castmates,
Yeah.
and how every one of our rehearsals would be aha moments. So I'm watching and listening how these rehearsals have become aha
Uh-huh.
moments.
Wasn't that magical? Like
Yeah.
literally, I just remember different places, rehearsing at St. Augustine's University in the boardroom, rehearsing here at my home, rehearsing in places throughout Raleigh. And I love that you said that there were these for everyone. Everyone had their moment to have their aha or to confess that was me or to exhale. And so what's interesting to me, Celeste, that you say that it's the script is when I was in Texas this time last year doing the show
Mm-hmm.
and rehearsing for it, I didn't realize that I was a songwriter until people I did not know sang the songs and had the same effect. Because when your friends are as gifted as a Sandra DuBose, when your friends are as gifted as an Alan F. Brown, when you don't know, you know your friends can sing. When you get an Indy Williams, you just know, hey, this is. But when people that you don't know take the same songs and it moves them, I literally went home one day and I was just like, I think I might be a songwriter. And I just got from your words almost a release for me. I got to say thank you. And you and I talk enough that I hear you. I've heard you say that, but I haven't heard it like that. It's a real play because whoever comes in is able to have the same impact on the audience and themselves because of the words. Wow, what a gift.
Exactly. And as far as the music goes, the music itself, you can't have a single rehearsal. The music is powerful all by itself. It's like it breathes life on its own. So when you're in a rehearsal and you've already held those life-breathing words in your hand and repeated those, then when you add the music to it and everybody is slain from the words and the power of the music and the lyrics, and it's just amazing. Aha moments and just gone and just, it's awesome. It is really magnificent. Combining the words that we bring to life and the music at the same time. And it's just, it's life. It's life. It breathes life. So it doesn't matter who it is. If you come with an anticipation, not an expectation of what you think you're supposed to do, but an anticipation of what you will expect or what you will receive, you'll get it.
You'll get it. Okay, so you actually, I usually try to prepare for these interviews. You've done this little pivot that I was not expecting. Let's talk about the evolution of Grandma Doll. And let's talk about this relationship and some of the things going on in the pool. You have some new responsibility for some of the pain that's going on at the pool. You've got more comic moments, but without disclosing your role, can you talk about your process for that? And what I mean by that, your process to deal with some of the changes that have come into Grandma Doll's reality that were not in the iteration that we took to the National Black Theater Festival or that we took to, or how we started with the world premiere. Can you talk about that, please?
I can. The original Grandma Doll dealt with what happened to her and her and this is my interpretation in reading the script, and what happened to her and her alone, and she dealt with that, and that's what she was going to the pool for. But now the new Grandma Doll is still dealing with her stuff, but the realization of what else happened. I'm not
that part right there. You know how we used to do that. That part right there.
Yes, that right there.
That right there.
Happened and how she has to sit and soak that in and deal with that. I can't wait. I'm not giving anything away, nothing. But yes, Grandma Doll has a pivotal role to play, and I can't wait to see it unfold.
And how does Grandma Doll, we've already covered with Janine Ware, who you've only seen through Zoom rehearsals.
Right.
How is Grandma Doll reacting to losing her friend through dementia? And what is that like for you as an actress to play?
Just in reading it alone, in studying the script myself, I find that a very hard part to play. And when we do the rehearsals together, I already feel the chemistry forming. So I know that it is going to really, really, really be hard because dementia is such a real thing. Loss is such a real thing. And the words, again, the words in this script, they automatically bring it to life. So just being able to do that, and losing her, I can't wait for that moment. I can't wait for that moment in the play. Not having done it yet, not having experienced the real moment.
Yeah.
Just in the rehearsals and just
in the
moving
rehearsal,
along, I can feel where it's going to go.
And I've got to be honest, Celeste. Moving to Zoom, I'm used to having Zoom business meetings. I'm used to having Zoom conversations. I wasn't sure how I would do. And, this is the first time that we have people in 5 different states. And so I wasn't sure if the chemistry would be there, if the same power would be there. I had hoped for it, but I wasn't sure how that would work. So let me ask you one question. What is your process as an actor of taking on a role? I'm because you have directed, you are a poet. I do, before my last minute with you, I do want to talk about what you have going on in Garner on April 7th, next Thursday. But how do you take on a role? Like, what's your process?
When I receive a script, the first thing I do is I take that script and read it from beginning to end. I'm not interpreting anybody. I'm not doing anything, just reading from beginning to end. And then I go back and I read it and I acknowledge who the characters are. And once I've acknowledged that, then I start to hear the voices.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Who the characters are?
It means that I can, for example, with Grandma Doll, just in reading the words, I could tell that Grandma Doll had to do certain things. She had to be a certain way. When I read it the first time from beginning to end, that's not what I was looking for. I just needed to hear the flow of it. But then as I read it, I knew that Grandma Doll had to do this and she had to do that and she had to take on this. And then I knew that Ada Mae, how she was going to come. So I do that and I go through and I read it and I read it and I read it and I go, and then I start to learn my lines and pull them out and try to hear it and try to pretend like I'm there with the person that I'm speaking the lines to.
Yeah. What's very interesting for me as an actor, so case in point, I'm using my left hand.
Yeah.
I'm right-handed, okay? What comes first for me is I can't act the part until I can hear them and until I can see how they move. Once I can hear my character's voice different from Moses's, and how he moves different from Moses, and what his mannerisms are, then I know that we're in sync. But as long as I can still feel me as part of it, that's difficult for me. And what I love about you, because I watched the video more than y'all will ever realize, Grandma, there's a line that talks about Grandma Doll, like my real grandmother, real Mildred Holiday Gorham. She had bad knees. I am amazed and that even in getting up from the pool in songs, you get up rubbing those knees. Like, is that a conscious decision, or are you so much in the character that you know that Grandma wouldn't get up straightway?
I know that Grandma Doll would not get up. The knees is what you wrote about. Again, that's those words coming to life. So if I step out of character without acknowledging the fact that you said Grandma Doll has bad knees, then that takes away from that character. To me, that takes away from that character. Somebody would say, well, wait a minute, how did her knee heal so quickly? I know that every time I move, I need to acknowledge, oh, wait. So yes.
Before I move on, and I don't want to touch anything, because every time I've been touching something, I've been losing people.
Okay.
Is Celeste, look in the chat. Is my next guest here? Is my surprise guest here?
Oh, it looks like it.
All right. So hey, everyone. I have a surprise. I've been waiting. So let's bring my surprise guest in. Hey!
Look, I had hair rollers in my head. I had to pull them out. I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way that I can sit up here with these foam rollers in my head.
Hey, lift your hands and tell God thank you.
No, God, thank you. Yes, sir.
God, thank you.
So hey everyone, this is Loretta Diana Vincent. She plays Grandma Rose. She is the original actor who plays Grandma Rose. And an interesting fact, I will say it on every interview, I do genealogy. I'm a part-time genealogist. And Loretta, who was cast to play my Grandma Rose, she's from a town called Lido Hatchie, Alabama. My grandmother was born in Montgomery, Alabama, but Pop's family, her father family, is from Steeps Creek, Alabama, and Lido Hatchie and Steeps Creek, Alabama share a mailbox. And long and short, her third great grandfather, Mark Sanderson, and my fourth great grandfather, Jordan Sanderson, they are brothers. Now get this, y'all. They are brothers, and then Jordan Sanderson, my fourth great grandfather, and her fourth or third great grandfather, Doc Bruce, they live 2 houses down. So when I talk about the power of this piece and bringing together family, so I'll just say, "What's up, cuz? How you doing?"
Wonderful, cousin. How are you?
I'm doing well. So Loretta, life happens. You say, "Hey, grandson," you still call me grandson. You're like, "Grandson, I can't do it this time." What do you want the audience to still know about this piece before we bring in the person taking over? And then I got to tell you what it's like taking over for Loretta Diana Vincent. What do you want people to know about the play?
I want them to know that the message of healing is real. And that coming together to this oneness of, if the oneness is coming to the pool, but the message of being healed from a brokenness that only God could remove is the message that I want to be conveyed.
That's it.
That's the message that I want to be conveyed. That that God is still a healer.
Still,
He's still a healer. And even if we may walk away with some things still in place, like Paul said that there's a thorn in my flesh. We still may walk away with some things still in our flesh, but knowing that the master still is in the healing business is the message that I want people to take away from this.
Wow. Now, do you understand? Are you all getting an echo?
I'm not.
Okay. So do you understand? Do you understand how hard it is to recast an original? I don't like casting people in the first place.
Yes.
Because I don't like evaluating people. I never liked grading my students, although I had to. And so when Loretta and I are having this conversation, Loretta comes to the first rehearsal, sets it off, and then, life is happening. And I'm going to put it out there. Congratulations on everything that God is doing in your life that nobody knows about. So when life is happening, it's difficult to replace grandmas, the Grandma Roses. And in that conversation, I said what I meant. I said, "Hey, all right, whenever you want to come back, just know that the door is open." And so me and my executive team, we looked at some well-known people. And then I can't make a decision rushed. I think anyone that knows, y'all were there, y'all know that even with the world premiere, the Sunday before, I was like, "Oops, I'm sorry. We got to change this order around because God is moving here." And I remember in reading Good to Great, if you feel that you have to micromanage someone, you made a hiring mistake. So I very rarely like to move too quickly. I say that to say it took me a long time to replace or find someone for your role. What do you want to tell the person who has to play Grandma Rose?
Be authentic and be true to who she is, because Grandma Rose is like I heard what Celeste was saying about how she read her script, and when I read my script, I do basically the same thing. And then after I read my script through, then the character starts speaking to me when I'm asleep. And I'm like, can y'all just please leave me alone? You know, but Grandma Rose spoke to me the whole time. And I'm like, Grandma Rose, can I please get a little rest? Just a little. But just be authentic to the role and be and bounce off of Doll, because Doll is going to give you everything that you need. You know, just bounce off her and play, you know, not play, because when I did the role, I didn't say it was me playing her. I felt her.
Yeah.
I felt her. And she
Wait, so can you say there, long before we did the genealogy,
right,
people came to my aunt who had not seen it.
right.
My middle aunt, Marion, she couldn't even watch the show because you favored my grandmother so much.
Right.
And then my childhood friends were like, everybody could act. But that one that plays Grandma Rose, look at those cheekbones. And so, without getting spooky, what is it like to feel the character?
It's an honor.
For you.
It really is an honor, because it's almost like, really, you chose me, even though your grandson was the physical person to choose me. But I feel like she chose me. And then to have the connection so tight, you know, with the hometown and all those different things, to have it, to come from Long Island, New York. That's what I told you once before. For someone to come from Long Island, New York, and then find me to be your grandmother, play your grandmother Rose. I think that she channeled herself through me to portray her. Because I remember one line I said, when I said the line that, boy, that boy favor your mama more than your mama favor herself, is the line I said, right? And your mama says, tell him, Rose, right? So it's like I feel her whenever I talk about her, and whenever I would do her, or, you know, live her on the stage.
Become her.
I became her, right?
Yeah. Celeste, same.
Yes.
Could you feel Doll?
Absolutely. And the day that you told me who Doll was and how she behaved, it was so easy. It was so easy then to realize, okay, what I heard and what I felt as I read the script was normal. Absolutely normal.
Wow. So before we go, and I can't see, because I'm doing this on my phone versus my computer, I'm scared. Celeste, can you tell me, is the other guest here yet in the chat? Can you check what Antoine is saying?
It doesn't indicate she is.
Okay. So real quick.
Yes.
She's here? Okay. So real quick, before we bring her in, Grandma Rose, I start the play with Remember Me. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
But she knew it.
You know what? Okay. Remember me. Remember me.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Free me.
Yes.
Remember.
Yes, Lord.
Do you know how hard that is to replace? Do you know how? But this is the reason why I wanted Loretta to come, and Loretta will be there when we rehearse in April. Loretta will be there when we come together in May. Loretta will be there in June in Bowie.
Yes.
I wanted Loretta because, you know, it's part of PR. You know, sometimes when you move on, the days think that relationships have stopped, and the days get all these other things. Do you remember that moment right there?
Oh my God.
You remember that moment right there?
I remember that moment. Oh my God, yes.
Thank you, producer. That's the first time. You remember that?
Yes.
That is the first time that anyone ever felt the breath of Doll, Mildred Isabel at the time, and of a Rose. And so, for God to do the thing that he did in us and through us, and for you all to say yes, and just for the reasons, I was just like, no, Do you remember that, Celeste?
I do.
Yes. So, hey everyone, those are photos of our photo shoots when we were just getting started. I just got to say, Loretta, thank you for it. Loretta and I still talk. I talk to Loretta 3 out of 4 Mondays. I know I'm gonna talk to Darlin Rose on Mondays. I know I am. So I want to have a surprise. So we have a brand new Rose, and can we bring her in? I am so excited. And keep Celeste on. Oh my God, she's there.
Hi, Queens.
Hello.
Hi, Minister Moses.
So here's the thing, okay? Producer, keep all of us. I know those aren't the directions. 29 years ago, in the summer of 1993, which is my summer of growth. 1993, that's the summer the late pastor Gilbert Jason Bowles, one of my closest friends, he sang with Hezekiah Walker. I learned to pray from going to Hezekiah Walker's rehearsals because them jokers would be laid out an hour before rehearsal. Okay? That's the summer of 93. It's the summer when a friend is tragically murdered. It's the summer when another friend dies of cancer named Vinny. And God is stretching me. And that summer, I go to something, I think it's at something in Nassau County. And there's a group singing on stage. And I hear this woman sing. And I was just like, who is she? And I will work with her one day. I go back to school where I start Full Assurance Gospel. And I'm a radio announcer. And we have a radio show. And we get a project called Frank Anthon White's, some kind of project. And all we keep playing is this song, So Send I You. And I was just like, I know that voice. Skip 28. Loretta, you remember it. When Grandma Rose starts singing, Just Another Day That the Lord Has Kept Me. The first video I gave you was of Bettina Pennon.
Wow.
Right.
Okay? That's the one. And then when Loretta, and I don't mind saying it, when Loretta says, hey, Mo, I can't be with you this time. We looked at some big names people. I was like, no, God. And then my father that week in family Bible study said, son, I'd love to hear I Must Tell Jesus. And there's a video of Bettina singing I Must Tell Jesus All of My Troubles. And I was just like, oh my God. So Facebook friends, hey, everybody, I want you to welcome and I want you to see God is faithful to his promises. 29 years later,
Wow.
by happenstance, my childhood pastor passed away. I had never met Pastor Bettina in person. And I literally went up to her and I said, I went to the casket. I said, how can I serve? She said, I need a drummer. I said, I got you. How can I serve? She said, I need a soprano. And then when Loretta said what she said, I said, wait, the only one that I know that has soul like Loretta Diana Vincent is Bettina Pennon. And so, hey, everybody, welcome Bettina Pennon to it.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
All right. So Bettina Pennon, tell the people, everyone can see how elated. I got my grandmothers, I got a new grandma, and ain't none of y'all old enough to be my grandmother, which is the first thing that Bettina, she's just like, grandmother. You want me to play your grandmother. So Bettina, tell the people about you. Shout out New York, shout out Long Island. Tell them about you real quick.
First of all, let me say that it is honored to be on this platform and to be a part of this project. This ministry is what I'm going to call it, because there are certainly some very clear messages, and I believe that the people will certainly be blessed as a result of it. I'm just a little country girl from St. Mauritius, Long Island. I'm a PK. My daddy pastored for 40 plus years. The last 3 years, I've been pastoring my dad's church. I started singing when I was about 2.5. So I've sung all of my entire life.
Yeah.
I love being a part of something that's bigger than me. And obviously this is something that's so much bigger than just one person. And it is the gift and the art of storytelling in a way that really blesses people. So Minister Moses, I'm just excited. And I just love the way that God does things. 29 years later.
29. Listen, the fact that this woman, Loretta Diana Vincent, our grandfathers are great-great-great-grandfathers and brothers, 29 years later. And so I want to tell someone, though the vision tarry, wait for it.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And everything happens when it's supposed to happen. You
In God's time.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
So I'm putting you on the spot. Act 2 starts now with Rose singing, I must tell Jesus all of my trouble. Just give the people just a little bit. Producer, if you could take me off so I can get some tea, I appreciate it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I must tell Jesus all of my trials. I cannot bear these burdens alone. In my distress, He kindly will help me. Jesus will help me, and Jesus alone. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. I cannot bear these burdens alone.
Yes.
I must tell Jesus.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta tell Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus will help me.
Yes.
And Jesus alone.
Yes.
So listen. We're gonna say goodbye briefly to Celeste. I'm gonna have the two grandma Roses. Listen, Loretta, I needed to know that you left us in some good hands with Pastor Bettina. And Pastor Bettina, I need you to know that the foundation of Loretta Diana Vincent from Ledohatchee, Alabama, is so firm, and both of you bring to, I'm going to say Broadway, bring to the play a groundedness that I'm not sure, and I don't want to compare plays, there's just a groundedness in these characters,
Wow.
Bettina, you've also done Mama, I Want to Sing.
Yes, sir.
What is, when you look at a role, what's something that you try to consider?
I'll be honest with you, very much as I was listening to and I'm gonna call her Mama Loretta, and even Mama Celeste, just the whole embodiment of the character. It's one thing for it to be on the paper, but when it becomes a part of you, when it becomes alive, first of all, it's humbling. When I had the opportunity to play in Mama, I Want to Sing, I played the mama role. And that was, 15 years ago.
Mama
so to be able
to
step into that role and to play Vi Higginson's mom, her actual mom.
That's right.
All, I consider that to be humbling, to be able to play that role. So it's very much the same in this, as I'm reading. I think, though, it really becomes alive when you begin to open up your mouth and really let the character speak through you. And it is a very creative, but also a very spiritual thing. And of course, because of the theme of the whole movie, and I think I heard Mama Celeste saying that it's about knowing that God is yet a healer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no matter what we face, and as a people, And as women, we have faced so many things, but at the end of the day, we know that it was nobody but God that
Don't
brought
do
us
it.
through.
Don't do it.
Nobody but
So,
God. And all of us have to have a pool experience. All of us have had it at some point or another. And sometimes we got to come back around, because sometimes he's healed me from something, but I got some other stuff that has come to the surface.
Yes, yes.
That's right.
so I very rarely get speechless. Antoine, take Loretta and Celeste away. Let me talk just to Pastor Bettina. I'll be right back. So Bettina, one time, I'm not sure if you even remember, on Instagram, I put a clip of you singing "Just Another Day That the Lord has Kept Me," and then Marette Brown Clark said she's one of the best. What is it like? So I've been writing as long as I can remember. I may have sung in choirs, directing, as you saw at Pastor Brown's homegoing. Directing is one of my things, but not singing. What is it like to have the gift of song? And not what is it like, what's the responsibility that comes with that?
So I will say this. I started singing when I was about 2.5. By the time I was 5, I used to get excused from school to go sing at people's funerals. And I can remember my mother telling me as a little girl, she used to tell me all the time, you have to be strong for the family. You can't cry. You got to be strong for the family. So I began as a 5-year-old to look at, okay, you know, what I do, what God gives me to do. And that wasn't my internal vocabulary, but looking at it now, I knew I had a responsibility that whatever came out of my mouth, it was to help or to be a blessing to someone else. And I'll be honest with you, Moses, even now, sometimes it literally moves me to tears, because the gift that God has given me, I didn't give myself. So I can't take any credit for it. So when people come to me and they give me accolades and things of that nature, I can't take it. I realize that God gave me the gift to be a blessing to the world. So to be able to you know, for people to come up to me and say, listen, what you sang helped me. I saw you here. And it's scary sometimes, because sometimes people know me and I don't know exactly who they are, you know. So it always it's important for us to make sure that we're always carrying ourselves in a way that we can be a light, because I never want to do anything to discourage someone. So I'm humbled. And the older I get, the more I understand it. My maternal grandmother also was a singer. And what was so ironic is that the same year she died was the same year I started singing. So I have a recollection of her. In the mid-90s, I got a chance to travel overseas with Queen Esther Marrow and the Harlem Gospel Singers. And I can honestly say that there were many nights I was standing on the stage and the tears would just stream down my face, because I realized I was embodying the embodiment, rather, of my grandmother and the ancestors before. So I realized that now the gift was already here. The mantle just kind of keeps getting passed along to the next generation. So I'm humbled that God would even choose little old me to be able to be a blessing to whomever will listen and to hear.
Well, thank you for that. As you know, when my dad and I attended your church, he was ready to join that Sunday, except we live down here. And you preached a message basically telling us, don't quit. And Pastor Bettina is like the preachers that I grew up with. Straight, no chaser. And she got up like old school, got up on the pew barefoot and was like, you're going to have to put on your big girl panties, your big boy drawers, and don't quit. But what my father said, and then bring everybody back so I can close. What my father said when I got in the car, what my daddy said when I got in the car was, we weren't even by the traffic circle. My father said, son, you're so close to something big, but you can't quit where you are. And nobody knows the things that come in life that would want to make you give up.
Right.
And like when my father gets, he uses his hands. He was just like, but you can't quit.
It's not
And I
enough.
literally was just like,
It's not
and
enough.
so what I'm seeing here is the manifestation of not quitting.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing here is that the grandmothers that are no longer here,
Yes.
I have now 2 roses and a doll. And when we get on stage, my grandpa Harvey and Sister Carrie was somebody who was real. And I see that God has, you know, in Hebrews, when it says that we are surrounded by such a cloud of witnesses.
Yes.
Yes.
I think everything that you said is true, Pastor Bettina, that they may have gone, but the mantle of their lives continues.
That's right.
And so tonight, Celeste, if you have one hope for the audience in one sentence, what is that?
Wow, thank you for that. That they come ready to receive and ready to release.
Loretta, our intercessor, if you have one hope for the audience.
I'll piggyback on what Celeste said, and to receive the benefits.
Okay.
To receive the benefits. Mm-hmm.
And Bettina, if you have one hope for the audience.
Is that they realize they're not there by happenstance, that this was before the foundation of the world, that they would be in this place at this time to experience and receive, as my sisters have said, their healing.
Amen. Amen.
I want y'all to know that Carolyn Colquitt could even listen to Bettina sing. We were in rehearsal. She said, "Would you stop playing that? Who is that woman?" I said, "That's the new Grandma Rose." She said, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No, I've been trying to tell you." I want you to know that we have built in praise breaks. We've had them before, but it's deeper. And I work with a writing coach who works on P-Valley and The Good Wife, and he was like, "Hey man, you don't have enough drama." I was just like, "Hey, I just left the National Black Theater Festival. Who are you?" He said, "Look, you don't have enough drama." So we got more drama, we have more 3-dimensional characters, and we have more healing. And so I just want everybody to know, oh my God, I could not have asked after a long day. Pastor Bettina just had a wake for a service. I don't know
still
what.
In my office now.
Yeah, you're still in the Lord's house. I gotta say, I believe, as Pastor Brown would say, I believe I'm gonna run on.
Amen.
And see what the end's gonna be. And I'm gonna tell everybody, please do not forget to come and see Pooled at the Bowie Center for the Performing Arts. We'll be there. Tickets are available now. People are buying groups of tickets. We had a group buy 55 tickets, and they're still going there. We have 4 nights or 4 shows there. Please be there. I am so in love with my life because of all of this, and I feel my grandparents' love with me. And so, Antoine, let them go, please, and then I'm going to end in a minute and a half. Thank y'all so much.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Wasn't that incredible? Hear me, y'all. Stay pliable to God's will. That's what it really means. Delight thyself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires. That literally means stay pliable. Open up to new, because you don't know how God is going to fill that. And then I'm telling you, please come to Pooled, a gospel musical drama in Bowie, Maryland, June 10th through the 12th. Tickets on sale at bowiecenter.org. My spirit is lifted between my first Grandma Rose singing Remember Me, which is one of my favorite hymns, and the new Grandma Rose singing I Must Tell Jesus. My spirit is lifted. Could you imagine when you're sitting in a theater with 700 people and you have Carolyn Colquitt and the band, and you have the story, and you think about what God has brought you through? Come ready to receive. It's Moses Alexander Green, playwright, founder, saying good night. Thank you so much.